Welcome to 5-Minute Yoga. I'm Kathy.
And I'm Johanna.
Today we're going to do a little routine for lower back pain. So I'm going to get Johanna to start right away stretching her hamstrings. She'll go to the wall and put her hands about ribcage height at the wall and walk her feet back until her back becomes a tabletop position. So watch that you don't walk your feet too far back, feet right underneath your hips. And then if your hamstrings are very tight, start with your knees bent and see if you can get what I would consider a neutral curve in the lower back. So you can see that it's not exaggerated, but there's a nice neutral curve, and she's lifting her sit bones. And now if you're more flexible, make sure that you're contracting your quadricep muscles, and you can go towards straightening the legs. Very good, Johanna. Okay, so you would take a couple of breaths here, and of course if you're a little more flexible you can always start to go down the wall a little bit, but if you're just starting with flexibility, this is a much better position for your back than a regular forward bend. Okay, come on up, Johanna, and we're going to go right on to her back now, and we're going to grab a strap just like this, and you can use a yoga strap, of course, but everyone has a tie or a belt at home. Take the strap around the ball of your foot, and then hold on to the ends of the strap and stretch the leg towards straight. So the idea here is not so much to get the thigh close to your chest. It's actually moving the thigh away from the torso to create some space in the hip flexor and just getting the leg straight. That's a very good accomplishment. And again, if it's okay for your lower back, stretch your bottom leg straight as well. Okay, so check that out. So she'd do 3 breaths in this position, and then hold the strap in her right hand and take the leg to the right. So you're in charge of how far this leg goes to the right. Try not to pop this hip up too much, so that's just kind of rolling over. So you want to stabilize one part of the body and move another to get a stretch. So she'll feel this in her inner thigh for sure. You have to keep breathing because it can be a very intense feeling. Right? So sometimes this is hard to do on your own, but you want to take the thigh bone back and lengthen the whole side of the waist here. So come on up with your leg and change hands with the strap. Now she's going to go in the other direction across the body for a twist. Keeping her shoulder blade down, her hip comes off of the floor, and again, she's pretty flexible, so you might not go this far with your leg. She's got a good action in her foot, it's not twisting, and she's getting a stretch through the hip and a twist in her lower back. It really feels good. So let's come on back up and we'll change legs. So if you want in between to stretch your legs straight and just notice the difference, you've grown on one side now, let's even it up. And take the strap around the ball of the foot, hold the ends of the strap so your shoulders can stay down on the floor, and stretch the leg towards straight. So again, she's reaching the sole of her foot up towards the ceiling and pressing into the strap to go towards straightening the leg. Go ahead and take the strap now into your left hand, so the left leg, left hand, and go over to the side for the inner thigh opener. Okay, and she keeps breathing. She's doing a great job rooting down through this hip. All right. Good, and then come on back up. Switch hands, and same thing, go across the body for the twist. So you see how her hips are, the hip is coming off the ground, but she's grounding, she's stabilizing the shoulder and moving the lower body. Very good. Okay, come on back up to center, release that. Bend your knees and roll to the side to sit up. All right, we're going to do one more pose here, cobra pose. I thought today, since we had the strap already, that we would bind the lower legs right at the calf. And she's got her legs or her feet hip distance apart. They're not really close together. And she makes that strap secure. And then the fun part is that she's going to flip over onto her belly. Thank you. Good. Point her toes back behind her. And the first thing I want her to do is widen her legs into the strap. So that's creating some space in her lower back and her pelvis. And then she's going to lift her belly button. You won't see this very much, but lift her belly button towards her spine to protect her lower back. Lift her shoulders up away from the floor so her shoulder blades are engaged. And then start to curl up into a back bend, into cobra. Good. Yeah, she's going to keep her elbows bent so that she uses her muscles. Lengthen through the crown of her head. Soften her heart forward. Good. So a nice long arc in her lower back. You might not come up this far. Okay, lower yourself down. Good. And then you could take the strap off of your legs and end in child's pose. So those are just 3 simple moves that you can do to really help your lower back. Yeah, namaste.